She was told she'd never find a job in Vicksburg, Mississippi, ever again. And then I think back the help of my grandmother, my mother's mother, who worked in the home of a very wealthy family there. And I was always invited to come to their house and play the piano every Thanksgiving and every Christmas. And I wondered, why was it that I always had to go around the back door? I couldn't understand it. Even as a child, I could not accept it, but my grandmother was the help. I wondered, how could people have someone of my color come in their homes and take care of everything, cook their meals, take care of their children, breastfeed them? How could that be allowed if indeed the help was dirty? If the help was something subhuman? But it happened, and not too long ago, my friends. I think, too, of the help in years later, certainly a part of where we are historically in this wonderful book, of the women who worked and labored in homes, washed, cooked, and cleaned, and every Saturday, shortly after noon, would come to my husband's office and put their hands into their dresses, pull out a wet or damp handkerchief that rested between their breasts, untied it, pulled out $1 or $2, and said, "Mr. Evers, this is all I can do this week. Maybe I can help more next week." The help. And it hasn't been too long since that help has been such a part of our society, and in some places it still is. Human beings who would come together and say and sing, "Ain't nobody gonna turn me around." I have seen that life. I have lived that life. I have been able to move beyond it, but still so connected to it. I see this book. I see the help as a book that is not only entertaining, and by the way, to the author, I forgot that we did not say Coca-Cola, that we said Coca-Cola. And there are so many things throughout this book that bring that time period together, not only as a remembrance for me and for my generation, but for younger generations to know what it was like then, not to forget and to appreciate it. So I say in closing, you have my thanks for the help, because it spans the generations. It reminds those of us who have been there not to forget, but to use that memory in the most positive way of healing and reaching out to others as we possibly can. You were born, Stockett, in Jackson, Mississippi, about 40 miles from my home of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Time was quite different in my generation and in yours, but you have been able to capture the essence of that time, and I am so appreciative that you included parts of Medgar's life and his spirit that carried us farther in this country, in this world. You know that you are a success because your book has been on the bestseller list for I don't know how long. And it reminded me of the time when I wrote my first book, For Us the Living, and how different times were then. Because I was told by my editors at Doubleday, we will only do a small printing of 5,000 books because we don't expect to sell that many. After all, your people don't read, nor would they buy those books. And I was used as a front as we went from one city to another at book fairs. Oh, come see the widow. But my books were not there. Arthur Haley, I believe is the author's name, who wrote Airport, was there, and he would come in, and there were hundreds of his books there. But yet, I had to swallow that, promote it the best way I can, and I am so delighted that a book like The Help